Hello, welcome to Shad Life. I am up here in Cuyuna, as you can see, and the fall colors are like pretty amazing. Super impressive. And I am going to ride my new fat bike. Winter's right around the corner, so I decided to bring this bike up here. A few things I want to figure out. One, I want to figure out, do I really want this many spacers under the front? Do I want the front end that tall? And so on. I will figure that out. I put new brake pads and rotors on. I did bled the back brake. I didn't need to bleed the front brake, and things like that. The brakes were pretty worn, the rotors were pretty rusty, things like that. I do plan to put a dropper post on this bike, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. We'll talk more about that at some point. And the derailleur is a SRAM NX derailleur. I will probably end up upgrading that to like GX at some point, and there's some rust and stuff. I tried cleaning it up as best as I could, but you know, I like to upgrade my stuff anyway, so I'll be upgrading that. But aside from the dropper post and the rear derailleur, I mean, this bike's set to go. I have my Surly bud and loose on here, so the bud is for the front. Has tread pattern going this way to help steering in the snow, and then the loo has these cross treads to help dig in and, you know, get that forward propulsion. And I really love these tires. I've been running these tires for a long time, and I've kept them and switched them out to the bike that I'm riding. So yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna go hit the trail. I'm gonna do chest mount. I do have the Hero 11, and I brought my tripod mount. I don't want to use the 360 camera because it's cloudy and I'm gonna be in the woods, and that camera, the sensor for the 360 degree view, just isn't very good. It's really hard to get good quality footage in darker areas. But the Hero 11 has new sensors in it, so I'll find a couple spots on the trail to film me. It won't have that cool like panning with me as I go by type thing. I'll have to just place it and rip by the camera, but we'll see what I can do. Yeah, let's get out there and do it and enjoy these beautiful fall colors. I did bring my drone up here, and I'm gonna fly my drone around this weekend. That'll be on my other channel, Geeking Out with Shad. Talking about my drone, checking out the fall colors, things like that. Cool, let's hit the trail. I should just really stop talking. All right, I am on Klondike. This is the adaptive trail, so it's wider. The cool thing is if you see my videos from last winter, we rode this trail. So this trail open in the winter time, and they groomed it, and this is like an excellent winter fat biking trail. Super fun, and it's about 5 miles if you do just this trail, so that was pretty cool. So if you watched my video after I put Advent X on my other bike and rode it, you'll hear that I talked about the self-steering. I don't know if it was the Nard tires or the geometry of the bike or what it was, but it definitely had a lot more self-steering than what I'm feeling right now on this bike. There is probably a tiny bit. I have about 12 psi in, I believe, right now. That's kind of 10 to 12 is what I like to run on dirt. And then if I'm ever riding on pavement, which these tires would be terrible for pavement anyway, but the Nards are good for pavement. I run them closer to 18 to 20, and it's pretty impressive because when you do that, it's like your bike rolls really well. A lot of it is about what air pressure you run. So, and then of course in the snow, I run much lower. Maybe hard pack snow, I might run 5-6 psi. Softer snow, I can get down to 3 psi. Really depends on the conditions. But sometimes when I don't really know what the conditions are going to be like, I'll start out with 8 psi in the snow, and then as I'm riding, I'll drop pressure until I feel that ideal amount of traction. But on dirt, you don't want them that soft, otherwise it's just a whole lot of work. And at 12 psi, you know, they're a little springy, a little bouncy still. So it kind of acts a little bit like suspension, not exactly. Suspension's a lot more complex than bouncy tires, but cool. But this Salsa Mukluk, I like it. It's light, feels good. It's got a little bit more aggressive geometry to it, so super nice. Okay, so now we're getting to the climby parts of this trail, and this bike has a SRAM Eagle, so I can't remember what the big ring is. 50, I think, maybe 52, I don't know, but it's something like that. And with the 32 on the front, plenty easy to get up the hill. Maybe not as fast, but you can definitely get into that easy gear and just climb right up like I just did. So fat bikes aren't really any harder to ride than a regular mountain bike. They're just not as fast because you got bigger tires, heavier rotational weight, so they're not going to accelerate as quickly. They're not going to be quite as fast as a regular bike or snappy, but they're plenty doable. Like, you just have to know that you're going to take it down a notch and not be going Mach speeds. And I mean, I've seen people do Mach speeds on fat bikes because they're just super strong and fit, but I'm talking about the average Joe here. But there's a lot of people that ride fat bikes all year around, and they're plenty capable for doing that. They're just not going to be the most efficient machine to be out riding. So it really just depends on what you're out there for. I would say for people who are newer to mountain biking or more worry about things, the big tires can definitely give you that added bit of confidence you need, because they'll pretty much roll over everything, and they have gobs of traction, so they won't slide out as easy in turns and stuff. So it is pretty awesome experience. So there's a downhill coming up here, and there's a roller. I wouldn't necessarily call it a jump, but it certainly makes a good jump. Let's hit it. Here's a little one. Here's a better one right here. Woohoo! All right, so what I'm gonna do is stop and go back and put the tripod up and film that. Well, that was fun. This bike jumps pretty nice. It's got the geometry for it. It's definitely got a more modern cockpit. Such a cloudy day. So I probably missed peak color season because I wasn't able to get up here last weekend because of the filthy 50, but still pretty beautiful out there. But you can see a lot of trees have lost their leaves already. But tomorrow I'll send the drone up and get some footage. Might even do it from this platform, because then I have line of sight to the drone and I can fly and I won't get interference from the trees and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so I'm gonna hit this little short trail called Copper Nugget. Let's do it. These rocks are kind of fun. I'm gonna do this one because I don't have a dropper post. I have to remember that. Kind of fun going over them. Here's Copper Nugget. So Copper Nugget, it's a super short trail. Kind of fun, but it's also an adaptive trail. And this corner right here catches people off guard because it just tightens as you go around and it's blind. And you can see all those skid marks back there going right off the trail. I do find it kind of interesting that it's like that, or that they don't at least have a sharp curve sign or something. I feel like people that are on adaptive bikes, if they overshoot that and tip over, it's not like they're going to be able to pick themselves up. So hopefully they figure it out. Okay, back on to Klondike. I really think I'm gonna like this bike a lot. It's super nice. And the fact that it's carbon means it's a lot lighter. It's just like, for a fat bike, it rides really nice. I don't even have it set up tubeless, which I will probably do at some point. Take off a little bit of wheel weight by not having tubes. Actually, for a fat bike, it's a lot of weight because giant tubes, they weigh a lot, probably a pound each or so. Super pretty in here with all the pines. Just stop and take a look. Why not? All those pine trees and riding through them. That's so cool. They're all like bunched together like that. Sweet. All right, we're actually on Syracuse now. We crossed this road here. Pop right in. And this is also adaptive, but it's an adaptive intermediate. Still a green trail for regular bikers, but a little bit narrower, a bit more fun. Oh yeah. Just treat that like a drop. I keep saying for a fat bike, but I mean, this is a bit more of a surprise than I expected it to be, as far as like how well this bike rides. Whew. It's fun, and it's not even snow yet. So there's a little rock launch thing up here that I like to pop off of. So I'll go ahead and hit it from POV, and then I'll set up the camera and get another shot of it straight up there. All right, let's go get some POV footage, or some regular footage of that. I noticed on that jump that I tend to drop the back wheel down on the landing, even though it's a little bit of a downside landing. And I think the reason for that is because this bike doesn't have a dropper post yet, and I worry if I kind of nosedive it, the seat's right there. So instead, drop the back wheel down. Kind of funny that I'm aware of that, and kind of want to protect my bum and other parts on my landing. Kind of reminds me of the days before dropper post. Oh, yeah, don't want to go back to that. Whew. Big climb, beautiful view. Whew. Slow down and show it to you. That's awesome. Definitely a lot less leaves. Cool. So fun. It'll be interesting to see how the Hero 11 does in these conditions when it's cloudy out. I mean, the colors still pop to me when I'm seeing them. Hopefully they show that way in the camera. It's pretty cool. Yeah, like that orange, yellowish orange. So this would be, I believe, my 4th fat bike. So I used to work for Quality Bicycle Products, and if you don't know about them, they actually started in Owen Surly, and Surly came out with the Pugsley a long time ago in the 2000s. It was just a frame to start, frame and fork, and then you had 135 spacing on the front and the back, and it was asymmetrical frame because they had to do that in order to make it fit the bigger tires. And at that time, bigger tires were 3.7 inches, not the 3/8, kind of usually your smallest now, and then 4.0 is pretty standard. And then you have, like this bike, 4.8s, and now you have fat bikes that have 27.5 wheels with 4.0, and even bigger, like 4.5s, like the Trek Farley. So lots of different bikes. So anyway, I've owned like 4. So my first fat bike was actually Surly 1x1. It was called a rat ride, single speed, big tires. And what I did is I put a hub, internal shifting hub on the rear to keep it in that kind of single speed look. And then I found some knobby, and I think they were like almost like motocross tires for like a lighter duty motocross bike that fit on those rims. And then the next fat bike I had after that was a Minnesota 2.0 or something like that, and I broke that frame. And then I got the Specialized Fat Boy that I just sold, and then this, the Mukluk carbon. So yeah, 4. I've ridden a Pugsley. There we go, look at that, right at the end. And the Pugsley, I would check them out all the time, because since I worked at QBP, I could just check out one of their bikes and ride it. QBP, which stands for Quality Bicycle Products, also owns Salsa and a few other brands. So yeah, it's a Minnesota company, and yeah, one of the biggest bike parts distributors, or it may be the biggest bike parts distributor in the world right now. Cool. So I'm slowing down just to get one last look on this video of kind of the fall colors, where it's a little bit brighter because I'm out of the woods. So pretty cool. It's kind of a short-lived time of year. I'd say 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We get this, and then boom, it's gone. And the trees are all bare. Pretty wild. Oh my gosh, that was fun. I'm actually a little warm. It's kind of chilly outside, but I'm hot after riding that. There you have it. The Salsa Mukluk. That is a sweet ride. Pedals match, water bottle cage matches, and best of all, my winter helmet matches. So this is a Giro, kind of what you'd see for snowboarding and winter mountain biking and stuff. Nice helmet. Someday I might talk about that, or do another video on what I wear in the winter time to stay warm. So there you go. Whew. Oh, hot. I just need to cool off a bit. I really appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace. Fat biking. That bike is sweet. I really like it.